And all of Canada's premiers gathering in Mississauga today to come up with a united response when it comes to U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's tariff threats. But of course, news of Freeland's resignation is taking some of the wind out of the meeting's sails.
Our Mark McAllister joining us now from Mississauga with more on the Premier's Summit and how they're reacting to the big federal news. Mark, Freeland here does play a prominent role with a big portfolio.
That certainly has a direct impact on each and every one of these provinces and these premiers. They got together yesterday here in Toronto and had our big meeting today. In fact, that meeting is going on behind closed doors as we speak. On the agenda, of course, going into this was the threatened tariffs from President-elect Donald Trump, as well as border security. But as you mentioned, the news of Freeland's resignation this morning, front and center. We do know that they've discussed it a little bit this morning, in addition to what their regular agenda might be. Premier Ford, when we had a chance to enter the room and ask a couple of very quick questions of the premiers, said that the group was concerned. Here's what he said.
Well, I think we all are, but again, this is a time for the premiers to step up, which we're going to, and project unity across the country. And again, we have great premiers, all different locations from coast to coast to coast, and I'm blessed to be chair and have a great team right there with us.
That team of 13 provincial and territorial leaders came into today with a number of issues to deal with already. As mentioned, the threat of President-elect Donald Trump implementing those 25% tariff on Canadian goods until Mexico and Canada stop illegal border crossings and prevent illegal drugs from entering the U.S. Based on two previous virtual meetings with the Prime Minister and the premiers, there's been strong indication that the feds were stepping up with a plan to beef up border security significantly to the tune of $1 billion. Last week, we heard from Ford on a few occasions talking about possible retaliatory measures, such as limiting electricity supplies for a few of the northern states. However, Alberta's Premier Danielle Smith, who is here today as well, saying she prefers a diplomatic route and she doesn't support retaliatory tariffs or cutting off Alberta's oil and gas exports. Ford, early this morning, before the meeting began, spoke about some of the differences before the meeting. Here's what he had to say then.
Everyone has their own interest. No matter if it's Ontario manufacturing that will be hurt more than any jurisdiction in the entire country, or Alberta's oil that won't be touched at all, and they have a pretty secure path there. But it will affect our entire country, these tariffs. Make no mistake about it. And I just believe in making sure we use every tool in our toolbox. If I had a choice, I would rather send more energy down to the U.S., sell them more electricity, sell them more of their critical minerals. But in saying that, we have to make sure that we use every tool in our toolbox to protect Ontario and Canadian jobs.
So we'll see what becomes of those statements after the meeting takes place today. We do know that all the premiers will be emerging from that meeting at 2 o'clock this afternoon to have their say with the media and answer a few questions. We'll find out more at that point. Back to you.
All right, appreciate the update. A lot going on. Mark McAllister in Mississauga. Thank you.